Are you ready for the comeback? Yeah. Are you ready for the comeback? You know we the ones that ready for whatever. We gon' have to show them something, man. Let me see them hands up all the way front back. You don't understand that I'm doing what you can't with no cap. This is the return of the one. You ain't see him coming, you just heard drums. They've been ready for the battle. Any person that comes got the weight of the world on them. Yeah, they're too strong. I might have been down, not out. It's on sight, you gon' figure that out. And I might have been down, not out. Only one thing I gotta know now is, are you ready for the comeback? Yeah. Are you ready for the Are you ready for the comeback? You know we the ones that let me see them hands up all the way front back. Yeah, it's the comeback. Are you ready for the comeback? Now I see you with your bad self. If you into taking L's, then I can't help. I'll be the self-made champ, look at my belt. I built this all from the ground up, it's all by myself, y'all know. This is the return of the one. You ain't see him coming, you just heard drums. They've been ready for the battle. Any person that comes got the weight of the world on them. Yeah, they're too strong. I might have been down, not out. It's on sight, you gon' figure that out. And I might have been down, not out. Only one thing I gotta know now is, are you ready for the comeback? Yeah. Are you ready for the Are you ready for the comeback? You know we the ones that let me see them hands up all the way front back. Yeah, it's the comeback. Are you ready for the comeback? so proudly we hailed, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran last, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land under the free, and the home of the brave. Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. Stand of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land under the free, and the
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're watching MaxspeedTV.
Welcome back, race fans. Sunday night CFM Checker Flag Motorsports Speedway Monkeys, presented by Buttkicker, coming to you live at Daytona tonight. Season 2, round number 4. About 10 minutes left of practice. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Special race night tonight for me, being my birthday was Friday. This is the Steve's Birthday Bash 200 here at Daytona. Big shout out to everybody tuning in. Also to the guys at CFM for letting me sponsor tonight's race. Even though I'm not out on the track, we're going to call all the action for you tonight. We're going to go ahead and dive right into everything. We got the point standings, pre-race analytics. So we're going to jump right into our point standings. Of course, Anthony English has already won the first 3 races of the season, so he is in that top spot right now at 144 points. Adam Kilday, 20 behind at 124 in second. Mark Mann in third at 119. He is 25 behind the leader and 5 behind Adam. Hunter Reynolds coming in fourth tonight at 112. at 32 behind the leader and 7 behind Mark. Rick Seabrand's in 5th at 110. He is 34 behind the leader and 2 behind Hunter. Paul Servant in 6th at 109, 35 behind the leader, 1 behind Rick. Cole Spalding in 7th. He is 99 points, 45 behind the leader, 10 behind Paul. At Jimmy Reynolds coming in 8th at 97, 47 behind the leader, 2 behind Cole. David Overstreet in 9th with 94 points, 50 behind the leader and 3 behind Jimmy. Right now, Dusty Burkhart is rounding out your top 10 at 90 points, 54 behind the leader, 4 behind David. In 11th, Bubba Winningham at 80 points, 64 behind the leader, 10 behind Dusty. Alex Green in 12th at 79 points, 65 behind the leader, 1 behind Bubba. James Mayer in 13th, 74 points. He is 70 behind the leader and 5 behind Alex. Christopher Jordan, a newcomer to the league, in 14th at 72 points. Of course, he is 72 behind the leader and 2 behind James. Jim Duda in 15th right now at 70 points, 74 behind the leader, 2 behind Christopher. Shane Ward, our biggest mover, as you can see, in 16th, up 19 spots, 69 points, 75 behind the leader and 1 behind Jim. Now we have a tie for 17th with Bob Fitzgerald and Sean Frazier at 67 points. They are 77 behind the leader and 2 behind Shane. Alex Giffen right now in 18th at 65 points, 79 behind the leader, 2 behind Bob and Sean. Also tied for 19th, Jason Kinzer and Sean Stevens at 63 points, 81 behind the leader, 2 behind Alex. And Rob Connors rounding out your top 20 at 61 points, at 83 behind the leader and at 2 behind Jason and Sean Stevens. So pretty tight racing as you get through the field, but Anthony English has walked away with the win so far this season. So these guys are going to be outgunning for him. We're going to go ahead and get to our pre-race analytics. 6 miles an hour wind out of the southeast, 5 to 6 mile an hour, 77 degree air temp, 107 degree track temp, so a little bit warmer track temp than normal. 80 laps, 200 miles, unlimited tires, 50% fuel. It looks like we're going to have a 55 mile an hour pit speed, 75 mile an hour pace speed here at Daytona tonight. Right now, we are looking at about 31 drivers in the field. I'm going through here and doing a count. Hang on just a second, and I'll tell you. Yep, 31 drivers right now have registered for the race tonight. Right now, Russ Hancock does have the fastest time in practice at a 46.942. Now, that is in the draft. Bubba Winningham right close behind him with a 47.028. So they do have 2 fast repairs tonight, 2 GWC attempts, and 1 qualification lap. Actually, it'll be 2. First lap is a warm-up, and then the qualification lap itself. Of course, we are still thinking about Joshua Medlock recovering from his ordeal. So y'all keep praying for Joshua that he makes a speedy recovery. And we are about 4 minutes left. I want to see if it looks like Bubba is coming down pit road. We're going to get him in his pit box, and we're going to bring Bubba up here, see what he thinks, get his opinion about tonight's race and what's going to happen, what he thinks might happen out here tonight. So we will not see a few guys here, as they do have requested provisionals for tonight, but we're going to go ahead and bring Bubba Winningham up in the booth. Bubba, Steve up here in the booth, got you guys out on practice. Kind of want to get your opinion about tonight, how things are going to do. And Matt, are we going to have to put out a bounty on Anthony English?
I think we're going to have to put a governor on his truck. Because, between our league and the OP leagues, this man's won about 5 or 6 or 7 in a row, and he's unstoppable. But makes it for great competition, and everybody has a shot at knocking him off that perch tonight.
Well, track temperatures are a little bit warmer than what you guys are used to for CFM. Now, a lot of you guys, like you said, run OP, and y'all are used to the higher track temperatures. What are you expecting out here tonight with these guys? And, right now we're at, I think, 31 or 32 drivers.
Yeah, we had quite a few provisionals tonight as some of the guys were out of town, so look for a low 30s field, and I think as long as that track temperature doesn't get up there, as long as it stays below about 120, I think you'll see good racing. You won't see too many people getting loose in turns and things like that. So I'm just looking forward to some good. Hey, you know what? Tonight I just don't want to make any mistakes that cost me positions. I've had 2 or 3 races in a row where I made a mistake in the pits and it cost me a lap and stuff, and worked the whole race to try to get back there. So I'm just going to work on the mental errors tonight and see if that works.
That and good pit stops.
That's it, buddy. That's it.
All right.
I look for good racing tonight. And by the way, happy half a century, my friend.
Man, I can't believe I told my wife the other day, Bub. I said, man, I don't know how I made it this long. 50 trips around the sun is pretty impressive, but yeah, I do appreciate it. And of course, we had a great weekend with the family. My nephew came in and went out and had a nice dinner Friday night with my mom and my grandmother and my brother and my wife and my son. It was an awesome time. So, but I do appreciate it, and thank y'all for like I said, allowing me to sponsor this race tonight, and appreciate all the drivers out here as well. So,
I'll speak on behalf of all of you. For the last couple of years that we've gotten to know you here, we've gotten to know a good driver, gotten to know a good dude, a great broadcaster, and a really good friend, and we do appreciate you, my friend.
I appreciate it, Bubba. Well, good luck tonight, buddy, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to you at the end of the race.
All right, man. Talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Oh, I put him in the wrong room. We're going to move him down to race room 4. We'll get him in the right room, but we're going to go ahead and bring up one more driver. Let's see, who can we bring up here? Well, let's bring up the league owner, Mr. David Overstreet. David, we talked a little bit about tonight's race. Not the big field that we've had in the past couple of weeks. I know several guys took provisionals. What are you expecting out here tonight, Dave? Dave, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. So we were just talking about, we had several drivers. We talked with Bubba a little bit that's requested provisionals tonight. But got a pretty decent field, not as big as we've had the last couple of weeks. But what are you kind of expecting from these guys tonight?
I think we've had a pretty decent start of the season. I don't see why that couldn't continue here. We'll have a little bit smaller of a field with everybody on vacation and stuff, but I'm looking forward to turning some laps and celebrating your birthday.
Yeah, appreciate that. Now, I asked Bubba, I said, are we going to have to put a bounty for somebody to beat Anthony? He's been on a tear here lately.
No kidding. Somebody should put a bounty on that car.
Well,
sure.
If he wins tonight, there might be something put out next week. I'll get with you a little bit later on that.
All right.
So,
sorry about that. I had stepped away from the mic.
Oh, that's all right. That's okay. So we just want to get you up here. You guys are getting ready to qualify, so we're going to let you go. And, just wish you the best of luck tonight.
All right. Thank you, and hope you had a good weekend.
I did. I had a great weekend, brother. Appreciate it. And we'll get him back down in that race room that he was in. But qualifying is underway. We're going to get our qualifying times up right now. Kevin Hawes is out. Let me get to TV screen. Kevin Hawes here is on the end of pit road. Roll it out now. I had Les Levy down at the end of pit road. So is David Overstreet coming out. Richard Suddeth, sudden death, coming over from Graceland, racing with us tonight. So awesome to have Sudden out there. Dusty Burkhart out on the track as well. Jim Duda out on the track. Cole Spalding in the 49 truck out on the track. The 8 of Dana Osborne in the old Skull Bandits throwback truck paint scheme. John Guerrera at the end of pit road. Alex Green out on the track. Jimmy Reynolds here with us tonight as well. And Andy Brigante at the end of pit road. Now, Paul Servant is coming out on the track, as well as Sean Frazier and Les Levy. A big shout out to all these guys, and I do appreciate everybody out there in chat, wishing me a happy birthday. I do appreciate all of you guys, all of our fans out there. MaxspeedTV. Of course, without you guys, there would be no MaxspeedTV. So, big shout out to all our fans out there as well. Adam Kilday out on the track. Times are going to start rolling in here in just a second. We're going to see who throws down the best time. Right now, they are on their warm-up laps, trying to get that first lap as time start coming in. Looks like right now, Cole Spaulding does have the fastest lap. Oh, Jim Duda coming in with the top time right now with a 51.234. And David Overstreet jumping up to second with a 51.235. So 1,000th of a second off. Richard Sudduth there in fifth with a 51.279, dropping to sixth. As Bubba Winningham. Dana Osborne coming in with the fastest lap with a 51.214. And Les Levy right behind him with a 51.223. But, of course, Paul Servant throwing down the gauntlet here with a 51.201. Of course, we still have several drivers that have not qualified. Lynn McNeese hasn't come out. Doug Johnson. And then Adam Kilday comes back in with a 51.189 for his qualifying lap. Going to see who else. Anthony English is still not qualified. Andrew Schroeder out right now. Sean Stevens, John Guerrera, Chris Jordan, Russ Hancock, and Stephen Luttrell out on the track. They are getting their warm-up laps in. Sean Stevens moving into that 10th place spot right now with a 51.246. But Adam Kilday, your current pole sitter at a 51.189. Going to see what these other guys do as Andrew Schroeder running the New York Yankees 48. Don't get him started on the Yankees because he will talk about them for the rest of the night. John Guerrera taking that top spot away from Adam Kilday with a 51.184, 0.05 of a second. Great lap by John Guerrera. Now we're still waiting on several other drivers. Andrew Schroeder still out on the track as well as Chris Jordan. But Andrew throwing down a top 15 time with a 51.254. Doesn't look like Anthony English is going to qualify, so he's going to start towards the back of the field. Don't know if John is in chat. Just a second. That's Jim Duda. Don't see John Guerrera in Discord right now. I'm looking here, just double checking. I don't see John Guerrera in Discord. So we won't get to talk to our pole sitter. But we'll go ahead and jump into our starting grid. I was looking to see if maybe he would have jumped in and went into the waiting room. But right now, John Guerrera is your pole sitter, starting row 1 on the inside. On the outside, and again, I don't know why, that is still showing chase driver. Let me see if I can look at this real quick before we get going. Where is it at? But Adam Kilday is starting on the outside. Row number 2, inside the 3 up Oscar Juan. To his outside is the 08 up Bob Fitzgerald. Starting row number 3, the 8 up Dana Osborne. To his outside is the 78 of Chris Johnson. Starting row 4, the 62 of Les Levy. To his outside is the 36 of Stephen Luttrell. Starting row 5, the 53 of Jim Duda. To his outside is the 46 of David Overstreet. Starting row 6 on the inside, the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. To his outside, the 27 of Sean Stevens. Starting row 7 on the inside, the 49 of Cole Spalding. To his outside is that 48 machine of Andrew Schroeder. Starting row 8 inside is number 6 of Bubba Winningham. To his outside is the 343 of Mr. Russ Hancock. In row 9, the inside, the 15 of Alex Green. To his outside, the 22 of Sudden Death, Richard Suddeth. Starting row number 10, the 03 of Kevin Haas. On his outside, the 69 of Dusty Burkhart. Starting row 11, the 14 of Sean Frazier. To his outside, the number 4 of Rick Seabrand. Starting row 12, the 44 of Anthony English. To his outside is the 11 of Jason Kinzer. Starting row 13 on the inside, the 29 of Luke Gray. To his outside, the 34 of Ty Dahlman. In row 14 on the inside, the 45 of Michael Pratt. To his outside, George Rancon. Starting row 15 in the inside is the 13 of Andy Brigante. To his outside, the 84 of Lynn McNeese. Row 16, the 00 of Mr. Rob Connors. To his outside is the 38 of Doug Johnson. That is going to be your field tonight, folks. Excuse me. We are going to get ready to go here. But Dragon, this is not Joshua. This is Steve. Joshua has been out. He had heart surgery about a month ago, so we're taking the reins right now. Green flag back or out for the first time. Boogity, 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 folks. Racing here Daytona birthday style. John Guerrera does get a good jump out to the inside with Paul Servant and the 8 of Dana Osborne. Will do, Dragon. I know he kind of pops in from time to time. Now I don't know if he's going to pop in tonight or not, but we're all thinking about him, and yeah, we're really hoping he gets in the booth soon. Guys, I don't know what just happened. My iRacing, scared me for just a minute. iRacing froze up on me as they come through their tri-oval. Paul Servant is going to lead that first lap. Paul Servant, John Guerrera, 62 of Les Levy, the 053 of Jim Duda. Down on the inside. On the outside is the 8 of Dana Osborne, the 85 of Adam Kilday, and the 08 of Bob Fitzgerald, as well as the 78 of Chris Jordan. Want to go back here and look at Anthony. Anthony starting towards the back. in 23rd up to 20th. As he is down on the inside. Michael Pratt in the 45 on his outside. Paul Servant, Dana Osborne battling it out up here for that lead. Dana Osborne, though, is going to lead his second lap. You guys tell me if I need to adjust my volumes. I try to get to it before the race started, but I had a little bit of issues. I could actually need to turn mine up just a little bit. Let me know if that's any better. Well, that redded me out, so we're going to go back up or back down just a little bit there. But yeah, Dragon, he, like I said, he pops in from time to time if he's feeling up to it. I know he had to go back to the hospital because the surgery didn't. Well, he had complications and had to go back into the hospital. But as far as I know, he is at home. He is recovering, and he said he was still hurting, but they're thinking that is just from the procedure, from the surgery, he is having issues. Doug Johnson down on pit road. Not sure what's going on. Andy Brigante coming out, or was on the backstretch by himself. Getting back up here towards the front though. Dana Osborne, Paul Servant still battling it out with Adam Kilday on the outside, as well as Bob Fitzgerald, 78 Chris Jordan. There's the 36 of Stephen Luttrell, rounding out your top 10 with Jimmy Reynolds on the inside. But yeah, we do miss Joshua calling races. Now, Joshua was actually calling another race. We were actually doing a double broadcast there for the longest time with Joshua calling the SRU race on Sunday night. But I don't think that league is making another season. So CFM reached out to me about broadcasting their races for them instead of driving, and of course Joshua graciously put me on as a broadcaster for MaxspeedTV. So this CFM is kind of my baby to do. So we are taking care of these guys the best we can. Bob Fitzgerald looking up towards the front, going to the outside, falling back. Not liking what he is seeing, so he is falling back towards the back of the field. As Richard Sutton does get around him, he's probably going to fall in behind the number 34 there to stay in the draft. Speaking of Richard Sutton, we're going to look back up here towards his vehicle. And there is the 34 of Ty Dahlman right behind him. Of course, Anthony English, our winner of the last 3 races, back here in 22nd spot. Biding his time, but we got 80 laps of racing here tonight, folks, at Daytona. Looking back up to the front, Dana Osborne got out in front of Paul Servant. Paul Servant right there behind him. Adam Kilday, though, on that outside line with the 78 of Chris Jordan and the 36 of Stephen Luttrell. It's good side-by-side racing right now, folks. Everybody seems to be staying pretty patient. We were talking about our track temperatures. Actually went from 107 degrees down to 103 degrees for a track temperature. So it's not going to be too treacherous for these guys out on the track. Y'all's talking about baseball out there. I haven't really got to watch much baseball. I don't know what happened right there, but man, guys just kind of fell around. I was looking at the chat, and there's a lot of movement left and right going on. People going to the outside, people dropping down to the inside. As Paul Schwant does drop it back down in front of the 88 of John Guerrera. Looking back to the field, we're pretty much side-by-side racing back here to Bubba Whittingham. Richard Suddeth right there in the 22 Victory Sim Chevrolet right behind Bubba, and then it's single file back with Dusty, Michael Pratt, Andrew Schroeder, Sean Frazier, Bob Fitzgerald, Anthony English, Alex Green, Kevin Haas, Jason Kinzer, and the 4 of Rick Seabrands right here. And there is the 84 of Mr. Lynn McNeese. Rob Connor back here in 28th. And Andy Brigante is out here by himself. Unfortunately, Doug Johnson still down on pit road. Don't know what's going on with Doug. Let's see if I can... Well, let's see if we can talk to Mr. Doug real quick. Hey, Doug, this is Steve up in the booth. Got a copy there, buddy? Doug, this is Steve up in the booth. Got a copy? Doug may not be at his rig for some reason. I do see Mr. Mark Mann out there in chat, so well, let's mess with old Mr. Mark Mann. Mark, seen you out there in chat, buddy. How you doing?
Dude, did you just pull the booth?
Yeah, I just pulled you in the booth. Mark, you there?
Oh, you got me?
I got you.
Oh my gosh, what's up, man?
Well, I seen you down there, and I don't see you out on the track, and I'm like, hey, well, let's just mess with old Mark for a little bit.
Oh, wow. So I got a little bit of a delay because I'm hearing you in Discord. Oh, you got a big wreck.
Yes, we do.
I'm hearing you in Discord, but I'm also hearing you on the broadcast.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now I think I have it squared away. What's up, Steven?
How you doing, buddy?
You know, I'm in a hotel room right now in Key Largo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That
I got on Discord to say hi to the guys and talk a little bit, and here I am in the booth.
Well, I knew you said you was going to need a provisional tonight as we're looking at this replay. I didn't know you was on vacation, and that actually happened up here looked like around Dana Osborne.
Yeah, I just caught the tail end of that crash. I didn't really see what happened there. But they look like that they were setting up for that wreck a couple laps previous.
Ooh, that might have been some net code. We're going to go back and get on a chase view with John Guerrera. Let's, where is my chase view at? There it is. But it happened right here with Dana Osborne. And we're going to see this here. Oh, right there. No, it happened with the 46. Looks like that's going to be net code.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, that was, yep.
Between David Overstreet, he was coming down, but I see a gap there, so a little bit of net code. I think they were going to touch anyway, and that sent John Guerrera right up into Dana Osborne. I don't know how Stephen Luttrell made it through there, but Jim Duda involved as well.
Wow, that looked like just one of those cases where iRacing anticipated the contact, and it pretty much caused the net code.
Yep.
And when you have a wreck up front in those first two lines up there, it's usually big and it collects a lot of trucks, as we see that happen right here.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. You know, the 78 to 49, Cole Spalding, Bubba Winningham, Russ Hancock, Richard Sudduth. And
oh, good to see Richard in the race.
Yeah, I got to talk to him just a little bit ago. He didn't know if any of the other guys was going to show up or not, but he was going to give them a call and see. But looks like Paul Servant and them made it through, and so well, unfortunately, that's going to be our first caution of the night. Looks like Ty Dahlman though got a meatball flag out of that.
Ooh. I'd like to see the Graceland guys come back and put in some super speedway time. Good group of guys, and they're really good on those 1.5-mile tracks.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. You know, me and you both. That's where I actually first met you, Mark. Was with Graceland.
Right. Yeah, we were cutting our teeth over there in some of those late models.
The late models and the. I think we were running the old Arctic cars as well.
And those guys are so good in those high horsepower cars.
Yes, they are.
They put in a lot of time, and they just know their way around those 1.5 miles, and it's pretty impressive watching them. And I enjoy racing with Richard and Billy and them on the super speedways as well. Billy and Richard are good on super speedway tracks. Like to see them out there more, but I understand there's competing responsibilities on Sundays, and sometimes it's just hard to make it to all the races.
Yeah, it is. But we were talking about that the other night with Anthony and them, and I told him, I said, when eventually I will be back out on the track, and they better watch out because I'm gunning for them.
Yeah.
But I asked Bubba and David O both, we may have to put a bounty out for somebody to beat Anthony, as he's been on a tear between these several leagues those last month and a half.
He really has. And last night, winning the OP Saturday Series Championship, that was a pretty big deal. Anthony's been in a lot of hunts for the championship, and he got it done last night. And, he realistically, he's got a shot at a couple championships this season. And I don't doubt that we're going to see him win a couple of them this year, because he has been on an absolute tear.
Yeah, and, there may be a $5 iRacing bounty out on him come next week if he wins tonight.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to do something. We just can't let him keep winning like that.
I'm not saying we're gonna go out and wreck him. That's not what I'm saying.
We didn't say that 100%. I mean, we didn't say that.
What I'm saying is if somebody beats him and wins a race besides him, they go get a $5 bounty. So,
but we're gonna have to do something, because I was super happy to see him win last night. Nobody deserved it more in the last.
Oh, I totally agree. As we come to the Geico Restart Zone, Chevyland. Well, I shouldn't say that because Chevyland's not sponsoring our Green Flag on Sunday night, but the Green Flag back out racing. Now it's been a really good racing, Mark. And I'm not going to keep you any longer than you want to be here, buddy. But it's really been good racing. Guys have been patient. There's been a lot of give and take out there tonight. People not feeling comfortable getting out of the way, letting the rest of the crowd go by them.
You know what I love about Sundays in the league that Bubba and David put together is that there's no real rifts. There's a lot of good on-track competition. There's a lot of co-opetition, and there's some rivalries, but there's no. The rivalries over here don't turn into animosity and people hating on each other, and that's what I really appreciate with this series that they've put together. They've kept it very adult.
Yeah, there's a lot of respect amongst the drivers, running the way that they run. Obviously, there's no flaming that I've heard, or I mean, I know that there's been a little bit of riffs from, well, you shouldn't have done that, or you shouldn't have done that, but the admins here, they're really good about squashing that stuff pretty quick. As we look up here, Jim Duda did take the lead. Trying to find my mouse, get on Jim here. Jim's come in. I think he's raced with you guys before in other leagues as well. But he's come in with his son, and he's done really well.
I don't really know Jim too well. I'd like to get to know him. I'm sure I know. But you had before you had on Jim Duda on your in-car, you had Steve Luttrell, and I just started racing with Steve recently, and I didn't really know him, but now I'm starting to get to know him, and I'll tell you what, there is an up-and-coming driver with a ton of potential.
We got several of them out here like that. Steven being one of them, but also there's another one that I've been kind of keeping my eye on, and that's Cole Spalding. Now Cole has been doing really well himself. He's not had the greatest of finishes, but you could almost count on him being, top 10 car about every week.
Yeah, he finished in the money in that special event race. We had a pile of drivers that night. He did really well. He kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and
I know that. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I know Luke Gray brought him over, and none of us really knew who he was, but now that we're getting to know him, he's been a great addition to this series.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you another one to watch out for, and I've been keeping my eye on him, is this Chris Jordan in the 78 machine. Now, Chris, I know he's been around a little while, and I think he just started with OP on Saturday nights not too long ago, because I think he's still running a triple-digit number. But Chris has really impressed me as well. I mean, he qualified, top 10 tonight, but he's fallen back here. He's back at 16th right now in front of Andy Brigante. But that's a guy to keep an eye out in future races as well.
Oh, absolutely. I believe I've raced with him over in OP as well.
Yeah, I think this was his first season with OP on Saturday nights. I know he was requesting. I think he requested a promotion because he's got enough starts to one of the other leagues. But I think, like I said, I think he's going to be one to keep an eye on in the near future as well.
Yeah, I definitely think so. And that's the beauty of all these super speedway series. You get guys who come in, they hear word of mouth. They get in there, they're quiet at first. You don't really hear too much from them. On track, they don't make a huge wave. They, maybe get a top 10, and then the next thing you know, they're getting podiums and winning and starting to get to know the community. And that's really what it's all about. The most important aspect of all of these series are the community within itself. I mean, here I am in Key Largo, Florida, sitting in a hotel room. I got a beautiful view of the ocean, although it's dark right now. And and I couldn't help myself. I had to get on Discord and see what the guys are doing. Guys that I've raced with for going on 7 years now. They're just as much friends to me as friends that I see face to face. And and when you miss like a week of racing, you actually miss it. And I do miss being out here tonight. I'm glad I'm on vacation. There's no doubt about that. And I could use a little bit of time off of racing, but you do miss it. You miss the guys. You miss the community. It really becomes like it becomes a friendship.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can become family, really.
You do. And so case in point, Anthony winning the championship last night, there's nothing more than being recognized by your peers. And everyone wants to win a championship for personal reasons, but you also want to be recognized and acknowledged by the peers that you race with. And to do it the right way, like Anthony did, was really special for him. And I'm kind of curious who's going to win the championship this season. Sean Stevens, I couldn't blurt it out, but Sean Stevens is the reigning champion over here and well deserved. And
he worked his butt off to get that championship last season for season 1 for CFM. But you know, he's back here right now in 16th. But you know, it's all of these guys. You know, we've grown to know them, racing with them, broadcasting, you know, for them, and you know, it's a community that if you have a question, you can reach out to any one of these guys, and more than likely they're going to try to help you fix the problem if you're having a problem.
Yeah, and you know, and I've heard stories, for example, LG Whaley, who was a legendary driver, especially in the super speedway tracks. He's since passed on, but he was a guy that I heard stories where one of the ladies who was racing, she had problems with her computer, and he drove all the way to Florida, I believe it was, and to help her fix her computer so she could race.
Wow.
And, you know, and we've had people in our community who, you know, maybe their wheel broke and somebody shipped them a wheel. And, you know, and whenever somebody has health issues, you know, everyone's always concerned, and we get to know people's lives and, you know, what people do for a living, and, you know, and it's really actually quite special.
Well, you know, of course, like we were talking about becoming family, as Andrew Schroeder's getting lapped right now. He is staying to the high side. Again, this is that give and take that I was talking about. You know, Andrew knew he was slower. He's going to let those guys get around him and then fall back into the draft, as he does drop it down in front of the 11 of Jason Kinzer. But, you know, we were talking about, you know, the community being like family, and here's a good example. You know, when Josh had his medical issue, you know, people were kind of devastated. You know, we're like, man, he is like way too young to be having these problems, and we're rallying, you know, as a community, rallying for Josh to you know, that he gets back, gets better, and is able to start broadcasting again.
And everybody's still concerned, you know.
Well,
everyone.
He's not out of the woods.
We want nothing but the best for Josh, and he's, you know, Josh, I know you're watching. Just take care of yourself, man. Stop chewing that tobacco. God, which I'm doing currently. But anyway.
Oh, well, Mark, you know, you can stay in here if you want to, or you can go. We can get you down there and visit with the guys, whatever you want to do, buddy. But I do appreciate you coming up in the booth with us for a little bit, and kind of got confused, like, wait a minute, did he just pull me into the booth?
I was. I heard myself talking back through the through YouTube, and I was like, what's going on? And I started hearing my name. It was kind of crazy.
Wait a minute, am I freaking out here or what?
No, I'll hang out for a little while more. Yeah, I enjoy hanging out with you, Steve.
Well, man, I like I said, I said this earlier. You know, I appreciate all you drivers. You know, letting me sponsor, and the admins here letting me sponsor tonight's race. You know, for my birthday bash. It's been an awesome weekend. Like I said, my nephew Dylan, who helped me broadcast the OP last night. You know, he was in for the weekend, and got to spend some time with him. And then Friday, you know, we ate dinner with my mom and my brother, my stepdad, my grandmother, my wife, and my son. You know, it was just a great family night. Ate some good seafood, and man, just had a good time, and it's been a great weekend.
Well, happy birthday, Mara. Say happy birthday to Steve. Mara's sitting way here next to you.
Hi, Mara.
Hey, Steven, happy birthday.
Well, thank you. Good to finally, actually, y'all got a special treat tonight. Mara, Miss Mara Clark, who's always out in chat rooting on Mark Mann, actually live on MaxspeedTV tonight. It's awesome to finally get to talk to you, Mara. And
you too. This is my first time on MaxspeedTV.
That is awesome. See, there's a first time for everything, y'all. So don't ever think you won't get interviewed or get talked to on MaxspeedTV, because it could happen.
beautiful. Very cool.
Very cool. And look who's leading the race, Mara. Who's the number 15? You know.
Does Mara know who that is?
Yep. That is Alex Green.
Mr. Excitement.
Yeah.
Who's he got pushing him? The 8 car. Who's the 8 car? Come on, you know this. Dana.
Oh, Dana Osborne.
That's right. And of course, one driver we were talking about right behind him, Mr. Jim Duda.
Yeah, Jim Duda, he worked his way up to the top 3 pretty quickly there too. Now it looks like we're starting to get single file. They're probably I haven't been really paying enough attention, but are we starting to get into that pit window?
We should be. We are at 50% fuel, so yeah, here they come. Alex Green leading that group down with Dana Osborne. Looks like Bubba Winningham. Oh, Andrew Schroeder into the wall. We're going to have a little mishap back here on the entrance of pit road. Richard Sledeth involved. Looked like Andrew Schroeder, though, hit the wall coming into the pit a little bit hot. John Guerrero did get a black flag. I don't know if he got speeding on pits or an unsafe pit entrance, but we're going to see. We're on him right now. We're going to see what the hold is. And
yeah, I hate to see that. I hope Richard and Andrew can recover from that. You know, just like we always say, just stay in it, especially on the super speedways, because at some point you're going to get a caution. You just have to be patient.
Absolutely.
I've seen it. I've been in a race where I believe, now don't quote me on this, we can ask him, where David Overstreet, I think, was 4 laps down, stayed in it, ended up finishing top 5.
Wow.
I do believe I remember a race.
John just took his truck behind the wall.
Oh. Well, ciao, Joe.
Unfortunately, that's going to end his night. As we see right now on Andrew Schroeder, he is back out on the track. Now, Jim Duda got a black flag as well. Looked like he might have got caught speeding on the pits as well. But looking back out, right now, Chris Jordan is your leader, but he is now coming down pit road.
Yeah, he's going to be in trouble.
Well, it depends. Rob Connor's in second right now, coming off of pit road.
Yeah, so when you pit alone, you're pretty much going to get swallowed up, and and you want to make sure that you pit with people no matter what, because if you come out of the pits alone, not only will you get overtaken, but you'll get out of the draft pretty easily.
Yep, and looks like he is just now coming out of his pit box. 8.7 seconds, so it looks like he got fuel. But here comes Stephen Luttrell, but look behind him, though. This big group of Dana Osborne, Alex Green, Adam Kilday, Bubba Winningham, Rick Seabrands, and look who's made his way up to the top 10 after starting 23rd, currently in 7th. That is the 44 of Anthony English.
Our OP Saturday night champion. This group of cars, they know exactly what to do when they get out in that draft coming out of pit road. If that other group can't catch them, they're just going to check out. But I do think that next group should be able to catch up with them.
Well, yeah, you got David Overstreet, the 03 of Kevin Haas, the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds, and the 343 of Russ Hancock. So Jimmy knows what he's going to need to do, and he's got Russ right there to help him. Of course, there's another group right behind them, led by Dusty Burkhardt, and of course the 49 of Cole Spalding, and the 84 of Lynn Manise, who of course Lynn is no stranger to victory lane himself.
Len, a former Wednesday night OP champion himself, is no stranger to getting the job done over here on these super speedway tracks. I hate it. I hate that last pit stop for a couple of those drivers. I always stress to people, no matter how bad of a pit stop you had, you get a penalty, you hit the wall, somebody runs into you. Oh, we got a caution.
Yes, we do, and I didn't see what happened, but we're going to take a look here. Richard Sudduth with a meatball flag. As we look here, he is bouncing off the walls. It took me straight to him. But then we go to a scenic view, so we're going to try to get back It almost looked like he might have blinked out. Not sure what happened.
Well, the beauty of Sunday nights is you get 2 fast repairs, so you're never really out of it.
It looked like, we know Richard Suddeth was involved because he was bouncing off the wall. He does have a meatball flag. We're going to try to take a chase view here, see what kind of damage he has, Mark, as he is having a hard time. Oh, that whole right side is gone.
Yeah, that thing is, he's limping it. I was hoping he'd get it to pit road and not put it behind the wall and use a quick repair.
Well, he has, yeah, he does have one left, but looks like
that.
He has.
I like that paint scheme.
Yeah, he has. Looks like he has taken it behind the wall.
Well, that's disappointing. I hope he keeps coming back though, because Richard's a good driver, and this is a good series. He did catch a little bit of bad luck going in the pits. That's going to happen. That's the other thing about super speedway racing is not every race is going to be wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've had my ups and downs, and I got my first win with these OP guys on Wednesday night. I think you were there that night.
Yes.
I just happened to be at the right place at the right time, and unfortunately, again, I do feel bad for Seabass because he was right there in front of me, but Netcode kind of got involved, and somehow I avoided it and got the win. But a win's a win. I'm going to take it.
Absolutely.
But that's why I said, come time, I will be back on the track with these guys. And I told them, I said, y'all better watch out because I will be gunning for that next win. So.
Heck yeah. And look at who's leading the race. People for the School of People Challenge to Go Fast, Mr. Lester Levy. Good to see Les.
Yes, it is. And, of course, we try to talk to these guys as much as we can during the race, but, we get watching the replay, and a lot of times we don't have a whole lot of time, but since we do now, well,
Les is a great interview.
Let's go ahead and bring, he's probably going to hate us for this, Mark, but we got Les Levy up here in the booth. Les, buddy, how's it going for you out there tonight?
Pretty good. Truck's handling not too bad. Track seems pretty cool, so we're racing hard. And got a new paint scheme going. Maybe this should be good luck. A lot of racing to go.
A lot of racing to go. But we got Mark up here joining us in the booth. Marky.
Naki. And we got the birthday boy, Stephen Lane. Young man. A young man.
We do. I see the lights are still on the pace car, so I assume that you're probably not going to be topping off here.
No, I'm not going to do like my teammate did last time.
Leading the race, but I like the new paint scheme, and good to see you back up there in the front where you've been, a lot of the times over here in Checker Flag Motorsports. I know the race feel over in Checker Flag always seems a little bit different. You got those 2 fast repairs. You can kind of risk it a little bit more knowing that, you got a couple backup cars, but yeah, what's it going to take to get it done tonight?
Yeah, I think you got to stay up front. I think we got a big field if I saw where we started, Mark. And listen, if you're always in front of everybody, then nobody can beat you.
That's right. And plus you got Dana Osborne and Paul Servant up there hovering around up there with you. So you got some good help. So
that's right. We got league owner Dave Overstreet running with this team tonight too. So
love to see it.
Lining up.
David got some of his equipment issues fixed, I know, and now he's back out there full bore, and I couldn't be happier for him.
Yeah, that's right. He picked up some new sponsors, bought him some new gear, and he's off to the races.
Love it. Well, good luck the rest of the way, Les.
You too, Marky. Have fun on your little vacation there.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I do like that Maker's Mark truck. That's a cool pin scheme.
Yeah, and I put him in the wrong room, so we're going to get him back to the right one. I've got to start writing this down. I have a bad habit about putting guys in the wrong race rooms. Well, folks, we are lap 37 of 80 as the lights on the pace car are out, coming around turns. Number 3 and 4 going to come to the tri-oval. for our restart here.
Still a lot of trucks out there.
Yeah, we still have 26 out on the track. We've lost 4 drivers, sudden death, John Guerrero, Ty Dahlman, and Doug Johnson, which Doug, I think he was having issues because he didn't even start the race to begin with.
Doug's been having some equipment issues lately, I've noticed, and I hope he can get those fixed. And because Doug's a good driver. I believe it was the Saturday series that Anthony ran last season. Well, the season before this, the Fall Brawl, and I believe Doug Johnson was in the chase on it. I think he made it to the Final Four.
He did. He had a great Fall Brawl season there, and unfortunately he got caught up in the stuff. But looking at our ATBO mark, Sean Frazier with the black flag.
I don't know. He must have had a passing under yellow or something, maybe.
Well, if it was a passing under yellow, they probably would have cleared it, but it may have been an unsafe pit exit. He might have went above that yellow line there coming out of the pit road.
Yeah, it looks like he's falling back here. He might be going in the serve it. Well, no, not this time around.
Nope, he's going to stay out probably one more lap, but
well, he better catch the tail end of that field and not lose any more time.
Yeah, he is falling back. Right now, it's almost a 7/10 of a second. Just hit 7/10 of a second. So
that's the danger zone. When you get into that, 7-8 of a second back off the lead pack, if you don't keep that wheel straight and very concentrative on that draft, you're going to lose it. And once you lose the draft here, you never know when the next yellow is going to come out, if the next yellow is going to come out.
Well, unfortunately, with the black flag, he is going to have to come down, and here he comes to serve that. We're going to keep an eye on this, though, and see how long he sits in his pit box. You would think if it was a black flag under a caution, it would have been just a tail end, an EOL.
Yeah, I don't know what that was then.
Now, speeding on pits, if it gives him a 25-second hold, that's what it would have been, was speeding on pit exit. I'm watching, we're on him right now. He's been in his box 18 seconds, coming on 20. We'll see what happens.
Looks like we're also halfway through the race, so he's still got plenty of time to make that up. I mean, he's going to definitely go a lap down.
Yeah, he just went the lap down. He's been in his box 35 seconds. So what it looks like to me is maybe he got speeding entering the pits.
Yeah, that could be.
45-second hold. Yep, so that would have been speeding entering the pits.
Well, it's good to see him staying out there, though.
Yeah, because, being a lap down, you can always get your lap back. So, depending on whether or not you get a caution, which, we still got a lot of racing left. We are halfway through. And right now, Les Levy is still your leader. But he's definitely got some good help with Paul Savant, Jimmy Reynolds, and Cole Spalding right behind him with Alex Green. But on the outside, you have Dana Osborne, looks like Adam Kilday, David Overstreet, and looks like the 36 of Stephen Luttrell.
I don't really want to call out any drivers that I think is going to win the race because it usually just jinxes it. But I like seeing what Cole's doing tonight. He's being very patient, just kind of biding his time there. Hope to see him there at the end. He's doing all the right things.
Yes,
Put himself in a position. Realistically, after that last pit stop, you just got to put yourself in a position to win the race. You don't necessarily have to be leading, but you're going to have to be attacking at least.
Yeah, I agree. And of course, it's at Daytona, you can comfortably go 3 wide. You got to have the help to do it. And right now, everybody is still side-by-side racing all the way through the field. But we're going to get back to the start-finish line here, Mark, and going to give the fans a little bit of what they want. We're going to do a little bit of crank it up here in just a minute. kind of step away and rest my voice and maybe get a cup of coffee. So, but as they're coming
Sounds
around
good.
turns 3 and 4, Les Levy's still your leader. Now they've been out 7 laps, so they'll have a few laps, but we're going to go ahead and do it here, folks. Coming through the trail, but we're going to do a little bit of crank it up. Hang tight, we'll be right back. All right, folks, we are back. I am standing up watching this race right now. I'm trying to get my coffee made. Still have Mark Mann up here in the booth with me. We are 14 laps into the stint, Mark. Looks like we are going to probably start seeing another set of green flag pit stops here shortly. Probably around 17 laps, I think is what they're getting on 50% fuel.
Yeah, I think so. You got like 6 cars in the high line jockeying, trying to find a hole to get down.
Well, Les Levy just did that. He got in front of that 46 of David Overstreet, Dana Osborne. Still got several trucks on the outside. Looks like the 78 Chris Jordan. And I believe that is the 84 of Lynn McNeese in that Western Auto machine. That's a little bit of throwback paint scheme, ain't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I love Len's throwback paint scheme that he's been running. I think he's been running that for a while.
Yeah, he's ran that Western Autos, man, as long as I've been with this group and with OP.
I've been running the same Wrangler paint scheme since I started iRacing, and I've never changed it on the truck. And, you know, I won a championship on Saturdays a long time ago, and Rick had a die-cast truck of that made and sent to me. And
oh, wow.
It was really awesome. So I've kind of vowed that I don't ever want to change that paint scheme because now I have the die-cast car to go with it.
Yeah, that's one thing I wish I could do. Now, I usually use Trading Paints Pro, but, whoa, here comes several trucks. Adam Kilday coming down by himself. Nobody went with him. Let me get that crank it up off of the screen.
Looks like he might have had one to get in there with him. Boy, he's going to have a really fast pit, and I don't doubt that he's gonna, but he's going to have his work cut out for him to try to maintain the draft after this next group comes around. Looks like Anthony English is in there with him, so, I mean, he's in good company. These guys know what they're doing, and Alex Green, so they might be all right.
Yeah, Alex Green, Andrew Schroeder. Now, Andrew is a lap down, but
I think that was Rick as well.
Rick Seabrand's with them as well, so this group right here working together, they do work together really well.
They're going to be smoking fast coming out of here. Actually, now I'm going to reverse what I had just said, and the rest of the field better be on their game right now, on their pit stop, because these guys are going to be really fast.
Yeah, and Chris Jordan is still by himself. His closest driver is going to be Michael Pratt. Let me get my driver bar up here because that gives us our intervals. About a second, 1.2. He is actually gaining on him a little bit. He may be waiting for him to get them two together.
Well, they better hurry. I think that other group must have pitted.
Yep, Jimmy Reynolds and them coming off of pit road right now. That's Jimmy Reynolds, Les Levy, Dana Osborne, Paul Servant, David Overstreet. Big group of them. Lynn McNeese, Stephen Luttrell, Dusty Burkhart, Jim Duda. But look who's passing them right now, though. Here comes the Adam Kilday and crew.
Look at how fast they are.
191 miles an hour, 192.
Now, I think that this second group's going to be able to get organized enough to be able to catch them, but they're going to have to burn up a lot of fuel trying to do it because, wow, these guys are cooking.
Yeah, I was concerned that Adam went down by himself, but no, he's got help with him, and I got somebody blinking out behind.
Looks like Alex Green.
Alex Green, yeah. Oh, easy there, that truck there on the apron. I believe that was Jason Kinzer. No, Jason's coming down. That was Chris Jordan. Oh, that was the 45 of Michael Pratt. Got a little bit close to that double yellow line.
If you cross that yellow line coming out of the pits, that's going to give you a hold. So hopefully he didn't get that.
No, he didn't get a black flag. He got close to it though, for sure. But going through go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know, these guys are, I see Alex is blinking out again. These guys are running really fast, but that next group is going to catch them.
Yeah, that is the 62 of Lynn McNeese back behind them. Gonna run through our top 5 real quick, or our field. Adam Kilday, your leader right now. Anthony English in second. Rick Seabrand's third. Alex Green fourth. Then you got Jimmy Reynolds back here with the 14. With the 14 is Sean Frazier. He's 2 laps down. Then you have Les Levy, Dana Osborne making a move on the outside of Jimmy and Sean Frazier. Of course, Dana Osborne, Paul Servant, David Overstreet, Lev McNeese rounding out your top 10 as the 14 of Sean Frazier does come down the pit road. The question is Les and them going to have enough? And they do get around that group, and now you've got 6, 7 trucks here, 8 trucks. All
it looks like that. Yeah, I'm sorry, Steven. It looks like that top group is starting to go too wide in anticipation for that second group catching them so that they can maintain control of both lines.
Yeah, Adam Kilday does go out there, but drops it back. Oh, we're Doran, Jimmy Reynolds up into the wall.
Oh, boy.
No caution.
Wow, they saved. Oh no. Yeah, that's going to leave. That's going to give him a lot of damage, though.
Yeah, Jimmy's going to have damage on that front end, definitely. As we see him coming down pit road right now, probably going to knock the toe out of it for sure. Jimmy does have 2 fast repairs. Probably be wise to take one of them, get right back out on the track.
You know, that was probably a smart move by Jimmy to just use that quick repair, get back out there. Maybe not go a lap down if he gets a quick caution. But most likely will go a lap down if we stay green here.
Yep, he did take that fast repair, probably full tank of fuel and 4 tires.
Ooh, okay, so that's going to leave him on pit road for a little bit longer.
He's coming out now, 14.9 seconds total. Not a bad pit stop, really. So Alex does have the lead. Andrew Schroeder is actually back on the lead lap. He is right there in front of Alex, though.
So Andrew Schroeder leading that line. If the caution comes out, then he automatically gets his lap back.
Yep.
And Mr. Excitement, Alex Green.
Blinking out again. You know, unfortunately, that's just a product of simulation racing, especially across the internet. You know, of course, here in Oklahoma, it is unseasonably cold for an April. I think we're got a freeze warning tonight, Mark, and yeah, they were calling for snow, but we never really got any. The ground was, you know, the ground temperature still way too warm for anything to stick. But I think we are scheduled to have some more rain coming in this next week. We've had enough. Everything is so saturated. I had a big river in my yard the other day when all that rain, you know, moved through. So.
Well, I left New York this morning and it was 40 degrees. Got to Florida and it was 85. So
wow.
I went from one extreme to the other. And we're supposed to get 1 to 2 inches of snow up in upstate New York tonight. So I'm kind of glad I'm down here.
Hey,
yeah. And I got a week off work. So that's
nice. Are you going to do some deep sea fishing while you're down there?
I don't know if we're going to do a fishing charter, but we're probably going to at least go snorkel. Tomorrow we're doing an airboat ride in the Everglades.
Nice.
Stuff like that. You know, just, we didn't have a ton planned, but, you know, usually when I take a week off, I usually never do a staycation. I always make sure I have something planned.
Yeah. Well, Mara, if you're on that airboat ride, be sure you don't tickle your toes in the water. Them Florida gators might bite your foot.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see some gators, and I'm going to remind her of that tomorrow.
If you get a chance, find a good Cajun restaurant down there and get you some gator bites.
Yeah, you know what? We ate at a restaurant tonight, and they had gator bites on the menu. I didn't get it, though.
You need to make sure it's Cajun, because that dipping sauce, especially with this restaurant we have here close by that we went and ate my birthday dinner at, man, them gator bites with that dipping sauce, I polished that thing off in about 5 minutes.
Well, Mara's from Shreveport, Louisiana, home of Bubba Winningham as well. So she's no stranger to Cajun food, that's for sure.
Yeah, I love my Cajun food. Even though I'm not from Louisiana, though, I love them crawfish.
Oh, me too.
Love the crab and the shrimp and all of that. That's
Oh yeah.
that's my jam.
Speaking of Shreveport and Bubba, I think he's in the top 10, ain't he?
He is. Bubba right now is in 8th spot, right behind Jimmy Reynolds, who's back out there. He got with that group, but that did put Jimmy a lap down. Now he's battling Andrew for that lucky dog position right now. Andrew up here in the front of that outside line is Alex Green. I'm trying not to get on him because he's blinking out way too much, but Andrew Schroeder's actually back on the lead lap. He's going to try. Ooh, almost thought about going down in front of Dana, but ended up going back up to that top line. But I'm planning on making a trip down to Shreveport here, hopefully when they finally make a decision on my deal. I done kind of talked to Bubba a little bit about it. Gonna probably pay off both of my vehicles and go down there to see him and maybe buy me a brand new one.
Well, I've thought about that too. When I get around to buying a new truck at some point, I'll probably go see Bubba as well. And I know that Richard Sanchez, another community driver, has bought a truck off of Bubba. So if anybody needs a truck, just or any vehicle, get a hold of Bubba. Works at Chevy Land.
We're going to go ahead and get a Chase View. Give him. We're on Adam, but I wanted on Bubba. But we're going to give him a little shameless plug here at ChevyLand.com, Shreveport, Louisiana. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, visit ChevyLand.com. They will deliver in the lower 48 states. So if you can't make it to Shreveport, just go online and do all the financing right there. If you're going to finance anything, and then they will deliver to you anywhere in the lower 48 states.
And you couldn't ask for a more trusting sales manager than Bubba. So
absolutely,
I would trust him over anybody else.
Well, looking back up to the front, we got 16 to go. Mark, it has gone by really fast.
It has. I would love to see Bubba get a really good finish tonight.
I would too. I'd like to see Bubba get a podium tonight. He's in a good spot to make that happen.
Now, the only problem, we're going to be coming to the next green flag pit cycle. These guys are going to have to pit before the end of this race.
Yeah.
So we got to see what that top line's going to do to get down. Hopefully they don't lose position doing it.
Yeah, we're at 15 to go. They've been out here 12. Now look who is in second place. The guy we just talked about, Mr. Bubba Winningham, got a couple of good pushers behind him with Lynn and Russ Hancock.
Yeah, just as long as Bubba kind of keeps that thing straight.
Les getting sideways. Coming onto pit road.
Oh my goodness, he is. I wonder what happened there. Might have just locked him up.
I think he did. We had a lot of drivers coming down. Rick Seabrands, as you've seen on pit road. Anthony English as well. It looks like Adam Kilday on pit road and Paul Servant.
This is the money stop. These guys are going to be lightning fast coming out of here. It's going to be up. That pack that stayed out there, they're going to have to pit this time by. If they do not, they're going to lose time on these guys.
Yeah, and Jim Duda leading that lower line right now. Here comes Lynn McNeese. Bubba Winningham going to come down. The other guys stayed out another lap.
Yeah, that's not going to bode well for him unless, I see Jimmy in that pack. He has to stay out and hope for a caution.
Yeah, so does Andrew Schroeder. Andrew is the first truck a lap down, but he does have Jimmy Reynolds right behind him. Now, if the caution does come out and they are behind the pace car, they will both get the waiver round.
Yeah, and it's a bummer when you're a lap down, especially this late in the race. You're just kind of sitting back, hoping for that caution, hoping something happens. hoping that you don't get touched when the caution comes out and lose that lucky dog wave around. But
Oh,
oh
Dana
boy.
Osborne sideways on pit road.
Oh boy, that was a lockup.
That exactly what that was. But he was able to save it. No black flag, so that's a good thing. But now you got Jim Duda been out here 15 laps with Stephen Luttrell, Dusty Burkhart, David Overstreet back here kind of by himself. So there is a gap. Now, Stephen is going to have to get to that bottom line at some point.
I think this race is going to be settled with that pack that pit first.
Well, here comes Jimmy Reynolds, Jim Duda, Russ Hancock, and Dusty Burkhart down pit road. Looking back here, you got Sean Stevens back here with Rob Connor and Cole Spaulding. I would venture, Bob Fitzgerald all of a sudden got a meatball flag.
That's a bummer for Bob.
But here comes that group. Rob Connors, Cole Spaulding, Michael Pratt, and Sean Stevens down pit road now.
You know, I hate to say it, but I think it might be a little too late for those guys that pit a couple laps after that first pack. Usually, when you see that first pack pit, if you don't pit that second time around, you're going to lose them. You're just going to lose that draft. It's going to be settled with these 5 drivers right here. I have that feeling.
I would have to agree with you on that, Mark, as they are coming up on these guys that just pitted, and they are smoking right now, 188 mile an hour, almost 190 mile an hour. But Adam Kilday leading this pack with Alex Green, Anthony English, Paul Servant, Rick Seabrands, and Lynn McNeese. They are catching. They're about 10 seconds behind Stephen Luttrell, but Stephen is coming off a pit road, so yeah, they're going to definitely catch up with him. They are coming up on Jimmy Reynolds right now. Going to probably get to the inside of him. Of course, Jimmy by himself.
A lot of guys need a caution right now to really get back into this thing.
Yeah, and 10 to go right now, Mark, as we are coming up on Stephen Luttrell. They are going to go to that high side to get around him.
Now they're going to start. Those guys, 5th and 6th on back, are going to start jockeying themselves into a position to win this thing. That's why we're starting to see them fan out 2 wide here. Now
3 wide. Lynn McNeese to the outside with Andrew Schroeder. Andrew's going to have to tighten up to Lynn in order to get Lynn through the corners. Andrew does drop it down to that second line. Going to let Lynn back in front of him. Which is classy, honestly,
nice.
classy move by Andrew to, being a lap down, not fighting too hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Andrew's been doing this a long time. He knows what he's doing out there and has a lot of respect for the other drivers. He's hanging in there. He's waiting for a caution, hoping something's going to happen. But if that doesn't, we're gonna still have a very exciting finish here with a bunch of cars here. It looks like Alex Green is linking as he's leading.
Yep. And I've been behind trucks that's done that, cars that blink out. Man, it is, it is scary because you don't know where they're going to pop up at. That you can, got somebody behind you pushing. Like right now, you got Paul Servant with Rick Seabrands right behind him. If Rick gets up on him and starts pushing him, and Alex blinks out, he can push him right up into him.
Yeah, he could. And next thing you know, he reappears and he's inside your truck, and then he's sideways.
Exactly.
And Paul's just keeping his temp cool right now. He's keeping Alex Green level with that second line, making sure that line doesn't get too much of a run, because Paul is he will not concede in this second place on the bottom. He will push hard. He will go for the win.
Which
Paul is no stranger to victory lane.
Which I think any of us would do that. You know, you kind of see Paul. We're going to get on Paul here real quick. We're going to go to a cockpit view. Kind of see now it is kind of stretched out because I haven't went in and reset my my field of views. I was going to do that tonight and I completely forgot. But you know, looking at Paul right now as oh, see, he kind of got a little bit squirrely there when Alex blinked out. That kind of gives you an idea of what the driver sees. But what I was getting at is he's kind of peeking out one side and the other, trying to get air into his truck to keep it cooled off.
Yeah, that right side of the truck is the cooling spot, and Adam Kilday knows what he's doing too to keep him pinched down there so he can't get air into that radiator and keep it cool. But Paul's making a little bit enough room to keep it cool.
Yeah, and
Paul, he looks very calm here.
Yeah, he does. And Adam, you know, like you said, Adam's keeping kind of a side draft, but at the same time, he's keeping that line down so he doesn't, like you said, doesn't get cool. And there goes Alex blinking again. Ooh, right. And there,
we're going to be 4 wide.
Oh, and we're wrecking. That was Lynn McNeese involved with Adam Kilday. No caution yet, but it's going to come out now.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a huge wreck. Oh, that's just the product of trying to get by a lap car 4 wide and just ran out of room.
Yeah, and it looked like Jimmy Reynolds got caught up in that as well. Well, we had a lap traffic with a 45 of Michael Pratt right there. These guys are coming down to kind of clear that. And unfortunately, Adam Kilday got hooked there because everything was so tight. We're going to go ahead and get on a chase view here. You can see them door to door, but looking right there.
Yeah, you know, Michael didn't do anything wrong there. He held his line in the third lane. It just got tight, and sometimes you just run out of room, and that's what happened.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think really anybody did anything wrong. It just was just a product of, you know, not enough real estate.
Yeah, then several other trucks, you know, Jimmy Reynolds, Andrew Schroeder getting caught up in that.
It doesn't look like anybody's going to have to go to the infield care center, but it was a pretty big wreck and very sudden.
Dusty Burkhart as well getting a piece of that. Unfortunate, we are 4 to go, so don't think this is going to be one. This might be one of the green-white checkered attempts with 4 to go, as these guys are still, you know, banging off of each other. Unfortunately, Andrew Schroeder has used both of his fast repairs. Jimmy Reynolds still has one left, as he is trying to limp it back around to the front of the field, but going through Alex Green right now in that top spot. Now, unfortunately, with Jimmy getting involved in that, Michael Pratt, I think, got a piece of it. Russ Hancock may get the lucky dog here, get back on the lead lap. Well, maybe not.
Yes.
He is coming down pit road.
You know, I didn't catch who got that lucky dog, did you?
I did not. Andy Brigante. Andy Brigante got the lucky dog.
Okay. This is going to set up for a very exciting green-white checker finish.
Yes, it is. Alex Green is your leader. Of course, Anthony English there in second. Paul Servant third. Stephen Luttrell fourth. Rick Seabrand's in fifth, which you and Rick run together quite a bit, Mark. You know, Rick started back in 22nd, just like you guys usually do. Worked his way up through the field, and he is in fifth. And Jim Duda in sixth. Adam Kilday in seventh. Adam did use one of his fast repairs. Les Levy in eighth. Bubba Whittingham ninth. Rob Connors rounding out the top 10. And then you got Spalding, Burkhart, Osborne, McNeese, Overstreet, Stevens, and Brigante. Brigante is the last car on the lead, or last truck on the lead lap. And then you have Kinzer, Jordan, Fitzgerald, Pratt, Hancock, and Reynolds a lap down. Andrew Schroeder, unfortunately, still in the pit box. with probably a lot of damage trying to get fixed, but not going to be able to do it. And then Sean Frazier is 3 laps down. Now, we have lost Kevin Hawes, Richard Sudduth, John Guerrero, Ty Dahlman, and Doug Johnson. So we are down to 24 trucks if Andrew doesn't or isn't able to get back out.
Still not a bad field for setting up for a good finish here at the end.
Yes, it is. Now, somebody had made a comment. I was trying to find it. Benji, you're down there in Florida. Eric W. said, if you get time, Mark, visit the Dolphin Research Center.
The Dolphin Research Center. I'll look that up. Yeah, I'm down here in the Keys.
We got several people. We got 20 viewers right now. Only 3 likes. Guys, if you haven't yet, please hit that like button. And if you're new to MaxspeedTV, be sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. Let you know every time MaxspeedTV does go live. Now, we will have a few days off here. And we won't have anything Saturday unless we do a special race this week. But with Mark being on vacation, it may be another week or so before we do that on a Friday night. So, you know, big shout out to you, Mark, for putting that all together. It's been a lot of fun doing that, bud.
Oh, and I've had a lot of fun doing it as well, setting it up. And, you know, I'm looking at some more prizes to put together. And we might do some variations on the races. Hunter Reynolds was talking about possibly doing something a little bit different. We might save that for the colder months, you know, fall, winter. We're getting into those summer months, so a lot of people who are in the northern climates spend a lot more time outdoors and do a little bit less racing, especially during the day. I know I don't race anything during daylight hours when it comes to the warm weather, because you have so few of those days here in the Northeast.
Yeah, right.
But Friday nights, you know, I'm 47 years old now, and you know, the days of hanging out with buddies on a Friday night have long been over. So
yeah, me too.
Hanging out with buddies virtually, though, that's something that can be done and can be enjoyed thoroughly.
Well, Thomas Harkins out there in chat says, what do Ricky Stenhouse and Pink Floyd have in common? Their only big hit was The Wall. Well, here we go, folks. Green, white, checkered, green flag out right now. Alex Green, Anthony English, Stephen Luttrell, Paul Servant, Rick Seabrand's your top 5. Got to make it around to the next for the next lap. If you get the white flag, and then whatever happens after that's going to happen. I apologize, Mark, if I get to talking real fast here, calling this action, as we are starting to look at 3 wide with Jim Duda out there on the outside. But Anthony English right now battling Alex Green for the lead. Alex is trying to keep him from winning another race, but Paul Servant is right on the tail of Anthony English. Rick Seabrand's right there with Paul Servant. Ooh, a little bit of wiggle there from Alex. Was able to get it under control. Anthony English is going to lead this lap. White flag in the air. So no matter what now, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. As Dana Osborne looking to the outside to go 3 wide. It is going to be...
Bottom lane looks warmed up.
Yes, it does. Got a lot of trucks on that bottom line, but you also got a lot of trucks on that top line as well. It's really going to determine, you know, depending on if they can keep control and try not to touch one another.
Well, now that top lane kind of got separated a little bit. That's going to kill Alex Green's momentum here. It's going to all determine how these guys do coming out of turn 4.
Well, here we go, coming through the trioval. Anthony English, Alex Green, Paul Servant. Anthony English going to win 4 in a row. Alex Green in second, and Paul Servant in third.
Was that 4 in a row on Sundays for Anthony?
That is 4 in a row for Anthony on Sunday. We're going to get back to this start-finish line here. As they are watching them.
What a good finish.
Yes, it was. We're going to get right here And then we're going to get on a chase view. Hopefully I'm still on a side view, and I'm not. But we're going to get it around here, get this backed up a little bit. And you can see Paul Servant has got that nose of his truck. Well, Stephen Luttrell doing the same thing with Alex.
Yeah, Steven did a heck of a job pushing Alex Green when he didn't really have a ton of help behind him either. They were separated. That bottom line was formed up bumper to bumper. So kudos to Stephen Luttrell for a great push.
Well, Anthony did get him by 5/1000th of a second.
Wow.
That is how close that was. Well,
He wins the championship last night, and he comes over here and wins the race.
Yeah, and I want to look at this next, at Paul and Steven, because...
Wow, look at Rick right there. Great push. And to all the drivers who didn't have a good night tonight, just stay in it. It's so early in the season. Super Speedway racing's all about putting a season together through the good races and through the bad. And just remember, you have 3 provisionals over here. So one bad race isn't going to determine your whole season. 2 bad races won't. And if you miss a third, that won't determine your season either. And, they take 16 to the playoffs, so.
Man, I'm having to go off of what iRacing says, but that looked really close for the third place spot with Paul Servant and Stephen Luttrell, 2/100,000ths of a second. Or
that was a great
2,000th of a second. Man. Well, guys, we're going to step away. We're going to get our top 3 up here for the post-race interview. Hang tight. We will be right back. All right, folks, we have caught up with our top 3. We're going to start with our third place finisher, Mr. Paul Servant, as soon as I can get my mouse to work. We got Paul up here in the booth. Paul, awesome job, man. Close finish between you and Stephen Luttrell. I'm showing 2,000th of a second between third and fourth place, man. Awesome finish. Talk about the race tonight. How was it out there, and what'd you have to do to get where you was at?
Well, what I had to do to get where I was at is to pit with Anthony and Rick Seabrands, So yeah, I mean, my team, we were split up all over the place. So I figured my best shot was to get a good finish was to pit with them when they pitted, and it worked out. And I owed Anthony one there and pushing the heck out of him. I wasn't sure I was going to make it there.
Obviously, your truck was probably getting pretty hot. I mean, I know there for a while you were right behind Alex with him having the blinking issues, and you were kind of I don't know if you were really lifting because not knowing where he was going to reappear, but when he was there, we noticed that you were kind of pushing out to one side and the other, trying to get air into that truck. So was that kind of a common thing tonight with the overheating or the trucks getting hot?
I don't know for everybody, but I mean, if you pushed hard enough, yeah, you should get hot quick. So yeah, I was hot pushing Alex. I was hot. I was extremely hot pushing Anthony there.
Well, awesome job, buddy. I got Mark up here in the booth with me, help me call the rest of the race. Mark, you got anything for Paul?
Yo, Paulie, good finish,
Yes,
man.
yes, sir, Batman.
So yes, so we watched you on board when you were pushing Alex there, and I saw you tucking it out to the right, and I know Kilday was, he was pinching you down a ton, so trying to inhibit you from being able to cool your temps, but boy, you did an awesome job doing it, and I was kind of picking up a little information because I am not good at cooling my truck off like that. So we got a little bit of master class in how to cool your truck off by watching you tonight. So really awesome. A really awesome job, awesome finish, and great. I mean, you just pushed Anthony English to his fourth win, and Steven was talking about putting a little bit of a bounty on Anthony.
No, I know. I was pushing. I'm like, damn, I got to push this guy to another win.
Well, there's always that unwritten rule that we've always had with each other. Whoever's in front of you, you're going to push them. But if you did get that gap on that high side, you'd have been gone and getting that win for yourself. But man, pretty awesome.
I owed Anthony from the race of the last season when I pulled out to get the win on the last race, and I guess we touched bumpers a little bit, and I shot him into the field. He recovered and finished fourth or something. I mean, at least I didn't get wrecked, but I moved him out of the way. So I owed him. I was pretty much dedicated to pushing whoever was in front of me there for the green white checkered.
And you were right tonight. Your teammates kind of got a little bit jumbled up back there, so you didn't have you didn't have people to work with per se, but you worked with other people, the co-opetition. So yeah, great job, man. Hey, you got anybody you want?
No, sorry. I knew my only shot to get a good finish probably was to go with them when they went to pits, and congrats to Anthony for 4 in a row. That's crazy. Somebody's got to pull that horseshoe out of his rear end there. And, happy birthday.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Buttkicker, the league. Mark coming in here and broadcasting with you. That's good. My team I guess we were split up most of the, we worked together at the beginning. We were up there, but did what I had to do to get a good finish from last week's wreck. So yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's all about putting a season together and being there for the playoffs.
Yeah, points are important, man. This is like we always tell the new people. This is a points league. You got to get those points.
And just when somebody has a bad race and then they don't come back the next week, I mean, you could have 4, 5, 6 bad races in a row, but when you have that good race, that could be the race that, puts you into the playoffs and kind of catapults you to a run. So, yeah, it is good advice. Well, great racing tonight, Paul, and always good to see you out on the track, man, in Candy Shack. I miss the old Candy Shack, I'll tell you that right now, and Rick and I have talked about it.
I got to say, we were there when Anthony and all these guys came in, and I mean they picked up on a lot of stuff we were doing. So it's nice to see them all elevate. The competition's great now. So yeah, awesome.
It is. It's always good to have you in this series, Paulie. One of the longtime veterans and legends of the old NSRA and now checkered flag monkeys.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, and again, Paul, I do appreciate all you guys, all you drivers coming out and helping celebrate my birthday. Pit only comes once in a lifetime, so it was an awesome job, awesome race. I'm glad you guys had fun out there, and definitely appreciate y'all showing up and racing tonight.
Thank you, sir. And Mark, one last thing, I wasn't too worried about Killjoy.
Killjoy.
I'm a little nervous here. pinching me. I was like I said, I was cooling my motor off, so I wasn't really paying attention much to him on the.
Yeah, and Kilday's a great driver, so he knew where the threshold was anyway.
Yes, sir.
That's going to be his new nickname from now on. It's Killjoy.
Killjoy.
Killjoy. I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good, eh? Pretty good.
Well, Paul, congratulations again, buddy. Go celebrate, and man, we'll see you next week.
Thank you, sir. You guys all have a good night, man.
You
And
too,
happy
buddy.
birthday
Later.
again. Enjoy your night.
Later, Paulie.
We'll get him down there somewhere. He'll go where he wants to go. Well, that's going to bring us to our second place finisher. We're probably going to catch him in mid-sentence, but Alex Green coming in second place tonight. Alex, awesome job, man. You started kind of mid-pack, really, back in 17th, worked your way up. You had a little bit of a blinking issue going on, but man, you was able to maintain. Now, I had a comment out in chat. They was wondering, did you have your tongue sticking out to try to beat Anthony?
Man, it was, I think another coat of paint we would have had that 44, man. I don't know what else to try anymore.
You know, he's been tough to beat here lately, and, you know, I kind of made a comment that there may be a $5 iRacing bounty out on him next week, but we'll get with the admins on that to see if that's even possible. Not to wreck him, but to beat him.
I mean, I've wrecked people for less.
Well, awesome job, man. Let's just talk a little bit about the race tonight. How did things feel? Pit stop strategies, tire wear. What all was you dealing with out there tonight, bud?
I mean, honestly, it was pretty. I don't want to use the word calm, but it was a really calm race overall. I mean, I always start mid-pack, so you know the benefit of being consistently mid-pack and qualifying is you always know where your pit stall is going to be. Had that first caution. Kind of didn't feel like I needed tires just yet, so got up front a little bit, kind of got the track position there. We pit a lap early of everybody else, came out. Pit stops were great all night. We did really, really well with pit stops, probably the best I've done in a long time there. And I think that was really just the key to being up there. Stayed up front. Second caution came out, took 4. And then it was just kind of a matter of being out front. I think if we hadn't got that last caution, I think we had a really good shot at it. I think Paul was absolutely killing it, pushing it, but I knew he was getting hot. Got that green-white checkered, and I just I felt like if I stayed on that inside, Paul was gonna be able to push me clear with how well he was doing, and you know I'd be left out hanging, and that wouldn't have been good. So took the outside and ended up handing Anthony it because Paul did not blow up somehow. I don't know how he didn't, but that engine held up.
Well, talking about pushing, you know, Stephen Luttrell was almost a fender deep into the back end of your truck trying to get you up there.
Absolutely.
It was close for that third place spot, 0.02 of a second. But between you and Anthony, I mean, you were 0.05 of a second, you know, from winning. You know, what could you say about Steven trying to help you as much as he did?
Oh man, I can't give Steven enough praise. You know, I've been racing with him a lot here lately. He wasn't in the channel with us, but he's gonna be a star in the super speedway scene real soon. He's a great pusher, learns really well. You know, kind of told him before the green flag drop, just keep the car cool. Just be ready. Yeah, everything when you're up front here is just all about managing temps and knowing about the guy behind you and how hot they're getting. You know, we had that little wobble out of 3 and 4, and I told him just relax, re-rack here, get back on me. And he definitely did it. Awesome job pushing by Steven, and I'm really excited to see what he does. You know, going forward in NSRA, and you know, I think he's going to end up being in Mondays in OP. So. Really excited to see what he does there.
Of course, we've had Mark up here in the booth with us last half of the race. Alex, I'm sure he's probably got something for you. Mark, I'm going to turn the mic over to you, bud.
We have really different definitions of vacation, Mark.
I know, right? I'm actually laying in bed right now in the hotel room, but what's up, Mr. Excitement? I like seeing that.
Man.
I love seeing that number 15 Napa Auto Parts truck out there. Dude,
Feels like old times.
It really does. And man, and I'll tell you, and I've even told you this in a lot of these super speedway races as of late, this past year you've been in the hunt and all of them, and yes, you were just edged out by a coat of paint tonight, and you didn't have a whole lot of. It was you and Steven on that high line, and the next trucks back were they were off. Yeah, I think they were making runs of their own to try to go to the third lane or whatever it is that they were doing. But yeah, Paul and Anthony just edged you out tonight. But stay in it, man, because right now you're one of the top dogs running up there in the front all the time.
I don't know about all that, but it's been fun to be up there, and it's been fun to have some good finishes. And I attribute a lot of that to running with you, Mark, Rick, you, Rick, Anthony, Schroeder, Adam. Getting to finally learn from you guys, and obviously the new equipment. Told Anthony I'm about to repo that wheel if he keeps this up.
Oh, dude, you are the one that sparked this win streak for Anthony. I tell you,
I should have took the one in the box and gave him the one I already set up. Apparently that one was magic in it.
Yeah, he's been on a hot tear, but you've been putting together some good races for yourself, and it's been really awesome to see you running up in the front pack lately, and I hope you keep it up and make some playoff runs here, and it's always fun racing with you. You got anybody you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, thank you guys for being in the booth. Love MaxspeedTV. They've been a great partner to OP and Checkered Flag. So I'd love to. Anytime I get to see you guys, Steven, happy birthday, buddy. I'm glad we could spend it with you. Glad we could put on a good race for you. Obviously, want to shout out my daughter Eloise. Everything I do is for her, and I'm sure she'll be excited to go back and watch me get a good second. I already hear the questions coming. Why didn't you win, Dad? So, but we'll get there. Shout out all the guys I work with. I'm sure they'll see this if they're not already watching, and I'll get shit for that too. Oh, sorry, crap for that. I'm gonna get fined now. Yeah, just thank all the communities and everybody who races with us. Like Jimmy always says, without you there'd be no us, and it's real great group we got over here, and everybody's super respectful and just a lot of fun there.
Well, awesome. Alex, yeah, awesome job, Alex. Again, like I told Paul and the rest of the guys, I appreciate you guys showing up tonight. For this race, celebrate my birthday. Like I said, 50 only comes once in a lifetime, and man, it was an exciting race, and I'm glad you guys had a blast out there. Hopefully one of these days I will be able to get back out there and tear up the tracks with you guys. But until then, brother, congratulations. Go celebrate. Good points night for you. And, man, we'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.
See you, Alex.
See ya.
All right. Well, what can we say other than,
let's bring them in.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you right now. There's going to be a bounty out for this gentleman next week. Mr. Anthony English, 4 straight wins for this driver. Of course, Anthony, my nephew Dylan out there in chat, giving you a big congratulations for 4 in a row, man. Let's talk about your race tonight, dude. You didn't even qualify. You started in the back in 23rd, I think, and man, just had some good help with some teammates and some other drivers, and your pit stops was impeccable. I mean, what can we say?
Oh man, yeah, I thought you put bounties on me last week.
No, but there will be next week. There may be some iRacing bucks involved here. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh man, I can't even. Like, I'm actually like for a loss of words, honestly, because I even told the guys in the channel like I wasn't gonna qualify. I just was gonna ride in the back, and first opportunity I had to push one of these guys, to a win, I was going to do that. And that's what the mindset was at the end. I mean, we were nailing our pit stops all night long, our whole group, and we did really great in that, especially that last short pit that we did, and we were able to stick it up front, me, Alex, and Adam. And I was literally just playing it cool, calm, and collected, just trying to keep it cool enough for Adam to try to give him a good push coming to the line. And then we had that lap car put a wrench in a little bit of that, just wrong place, wrong time, and ended up getting Adam in the wall. I feel bad for Adam. He definitely deserved to be up there and be in this position tonight, him or Alex both and stuff. And then at the end, it was all Paul. I mean, I just kept my foot to the floor, and Paul did the rest of it. And huge shout out to Paul for the pushing to get the win.
Well, if you get a repo notice, you'll know who it came from. Alex said he thinks he may have to put out a repo on some equipment.
Yeah, you were saying that to me in the waiting room.
Oh.
Like it's the same equipment you got, dude.
But man, awesome job. And again, I'm gonna go ahead and say this while I got you here. I do appreciate all you drivers coming out and help. Just being out here and having fun, celebrating. My birthday. It's been an awesome weekend with family and friends, and man, I couldn't ask for a better way to cap off the birthday weekend with you guys. So awesome job. But Mark's been up here in the booth with me for the last half of the race, or a little over half of the race. He kind of got surprised that I drug him up here because he was just down there visiting with you guys. But Mark, I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic over to you, buddy, and let you visit with Anthony a little bit.
Oh, Anthony, when it rains, it pours. Hey, congratulations tonight. But I will say, I've heard a lot of people say that plate tracks are, everybody who wins are lucky and blah, blah, blah. Well, the best drivers are the ones that put themselves in the best positions to receive the luck. And anyone who says that plate track racing is all luck, has to kind of get out here and do it for themselves. And the proof is in the pudding. Nobody wins 4 in a row. Nobody wins a championship by just being lucky. You got to have skill. There's a certain art and a finesse with super speedway racing. It's racing the other trucks and cars around you as much as it is the track. So congratulations, Anthony. And you're doing what we all knew that you could do. In the past, you just had some bad luck. You've been in a lot of championship races. You got it done last night, getting your first championship. You got 4 in a row over here. I don't doubt that you're going to be one of the final 4 over here at Checkered Flag Plate Monkeys. And yeah, man, congratulations. Not much more I could pour on you as far as compliments, but because I race with you all the time, and I thought you were just chilling at the back too. I was like, yeah, he's just gonna kind of take it easy tonight. He got a chip last night, but nope, here he is winning another race.
I was trying to. I swear to God. Like I even told my old man, I'm like, I'm not winning tonight. Like I'm just gonna chill and just help other people and stuff tonight. And like you said, I mean, when it rains, it pours. I guess when you got a little bit of a like streak of luck, it keeps going. But it's like I told Steven last week, like it's gonna run out soon. I mean, I always strive to try to put myself in the best position I can when it comes to like the last 10 to 5 laps to at least have a look at it. And you've been in a lot of the races where me, you, or Rick, or we've been in the top 2 or 3 spots, and then accidents just take us all out and stuff, and we don't really have the luck and crap like that. And Lady Luck's just been kind of like rolling on my side these last couple months, I think. And I've been fortunate to get through the wrecks. I didn't get into that wreck with Adam and Len when we tried to 4 wide that lap car, and I don't know how. I was bouncing off between Paul and Len and Adam. We were all bouncing off of each other and stuff. So I mean, I wasn't doing anything different than normal. And then we talked about having Alex on the outside because the outside always had to run coming out of forward of the line and stuff. And I really think that should have been Alex's run and Alex's win and stuff. But Paul's a hell of a pusher. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. he had Rick. He had Rick right up there too. So all three of them in conjunction on that bottom really pushed that lane. But Steven was pushing so hard. You know, maybe if Alex had another 10 feet, he might have edged you. But again, you know, you're talking about luck. But and like you said, the last 5 or 10 laps, you're putting yourself in a position to receive that. But once I started seeing you guys hitting those green flag pit stops, I knew. I think that these guys might be checking out a little bit here. But you know, honestly, Anthony, you've been very skillful, and it's kind of coming together. I feel for you. You're starting to figure it out. You're starting to get in a groove. You're starting to understand what position that you need to be in on those final laps. And as you know, you're going to have some of those races where you're going to get wrecked out leading, or you're going to get wrecked out in that second line. But if you're in that position 10 times, you're going to win 7 or 8 of them. So congratulations again, man.
Thank you very much. I know that probably everybody about hates me right now, but
no, nobody hates you. We're envious.
They just want to beat you.
Right. We're envious of the success, but it's not an envy where, we want bad things for you. We want only good things.
Well, Anthony, awesome job, buddy. We're going to go ahead and turn the mic over to you. Give me final thoughts, shout outs, things you want to give before we go celebrate.
First off, happy birthday to you, Steven. It was definitely a fun race tonight, and an honor to win the night that you broadcasted for your birthday and stuff like that. So big shout out to you individually, and then a big shout out to you and the broadcast, MaxspeedTV, for doing what you guys do. I say it every time, and I mean it right from the heart. You guys do amazing work at Maxspeed, and we love you to death for what you guys have been doing, and wishing Josh the best and stuff, and getting better so he can come back and start doing it again himself here and there and stuff. But big hats off to you guys. You guys do a phenomenal job. We love having you on board. All teammates. Like I can't state how much sometimes even just having 1 or 2 good teammates by your side can help you. But when you got 4 or 5, like the group that I run with Mark, Rick, Adam, Alex, Andrew, Jim, and stuff, it just makes it not only makes it a lot more fun, but it also makes it's competitive between the 5 or 6 of us enough as it is. But when we put our heads together and actually work hard as a team, there's almost not a race that one of us can't win. So, big shout out to the team. It's a big team sport thing. So, huge shout out to all the boys. And I'm going to call Paul my teammate for tonight too. So big shout out to Paul, my teammate Paul, for the hell of pushing at the end there and getting me the W and stuff. And then everybody watching, all the family, friends watching, my dad watching at home, my beautiful girl from Rachel. Everybody that has put in, sponsored races and done what they've done for Speedway Monkeys and everything as a lead, especially the admins, David O, Bubba, Len, Russ, and Jimmy. They run a tight ship, and they've been doing an amazing job with this, and they've made it extremely fun and a blast to do on Sunday nights and everything. And just, Bucker. Can't forget about Buttkicker, man. Buttkicker is a huge part of a lot of leagues, and it's amazing what they do, and we definitely love having them on board. All the bases.
Send me your address, Anthony. I was speaking of Buttkicker, by the way.
All right, we'll do. I'll do that after this.
All right, cool.
All right, Anthony. Appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate all the kind words. And, man, just unbelievable season you're having so far. And, again, congratulations to you. Like Mark said, winning the OP Saturday Night Unlimited Truck Series championship last night. Of course, it's been a heck of a run that you're on. And, man, all the best of luck. Again, the bounty, we don't know if it's going to happen or not. Wink, wink. But there may be some iRacing bucks for somebody that can beat you next week. But we'll see what happens.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun to see. Either way you look at it, it'd be fun to see. But don't expect to see me at checker lane next week. If it goes how I have planned it, I'll be pushing when the team used to win next week.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations. Go celebrate, and man, we'll see you here soon.
Thank you very much, guys.
See you next week.
Later. Have fun on your vacation.
Thanks, man.
All right. Well, Mark,
well, Steven,
Yep. That's.
I just want to say happy birthday, and just remember that you're never going to be as young as you are right now.
Well, trust me. It's like I was saying earlier. You know, my mind, I'm 20 years old, but my body's like, "What are you doing, you idiot?" So, but man, I appreciate you, Mark, coming in, and Mara. It was awesome to finally get to talk to you. Glad you're kind of hopped in there for just a second and letting Mark call this race with me while you guys are on vacation. So,
he is sound asleep.
Oh Lord. Well, Mark, go enjoy your vacation, buddy. We're going to get through our points, our final results here. Of course, this is pending any admin stuff, but man, go enjoy your vacation, and we will see you here soon.
All right, brother. I'm going to bounce out right now. Then I'll talk to you later.
All right, brother.
All right, Steve.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, folks. Well, that's going to bring us to our unofficial results, pending any admin stuff. Like I said, after 81 laps, Anthony English is your winner in that 44 multicam Fox machine. In second, close second, by 0.005 of a second, is that 15 of Alex Green. The number 3, Paul Servant coming in third. Close fourth there with Stephen Luttrell in the 36. Rick Seabrands in fifth. Bubba Winningham, almost a top 5 finish, but awesome finish by Bubba, getting a top 10 in 6th place. The 7th place truck, the 62 of Les Levy, unfortunately getting involved in that last caution with that lap car. It's going to happen here, guys. It's part of racing. In 8th is the 85 of Adam Kilday. 9th, the 49 of Cole Spalding. Another driver to be on the lookout for over the next little bit. I guarantee you he's going to be up here talking to us at some point in time. And in rounding out your top 10 is the number 8 of Dana Osborne. In 11th, the 69 of Dusty Burkhardt. In 12th, the 00 Rob Connors. In 13th, 53 of Jim Duda. In 14th, the 46 of David Overstreet. In 15th, the 13 of Andy Brigante. 16th, the 84 of Lynn McNeese. In 17th is the 27 of Sean Stevens. 18th, the 11 of Jason Kinzer. In 19th, the 343 of Russ Hancock. In 20th, the 45 of Michael Pratt. In 21st is the 08 of Bob Fitzgerald, finishing 22nd, the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. In 23rd, the 78 of Chris Jordan. In 24th, the 14 of Sean Frazier. In 25th, the 48 of Andrew Schroeder. And in 26th, the 03 of Kevin Hawes. 27th, the 22 of Richard Sudden. Sudden death. Unfortunate for him, having a bad night. It happens to all of us at some point. And, of course, 28th is the 88 of John Guerrero, our pole sitter. Got taken out early. And 29th is the 34 of Ty Dahlman. And 30th is the 29 of Luke Gray. 31st to 38 of Doug Johnson. And in 32nd to 28 of George Rincon. Well, guys, that's going to do it for us here tonight on Maxspeed TV. Again, appreciate everybody tuning in. And like I said, I couldn't ask for a better way to end my birthday celebration weekend than with all my friends out here on the track. And, of course, all our viewers here on Maxspeed TV. Glad everybody tuned in. Glad people had fun out in the chat. Eric W., Dylan, Thomas Harkins, Everett Baker out there, Brendan Kennedy I know was out there. Let's see, going here. Dragon Zeron was out in chat for a little bit. Who else am I missing? Am I missing anybody? I believe that was everybody. Of course, big shout out to Mark Mann for coming up into the booth and helping me, and it was awesome to finally get to talk to Mara. But again, your winner tonight, congratulations on 4 in a row, Mr. Anthony English. So, well, folks, that's going to do it for us tonight here on Maxspeed TV. Right now, we don't have anything scheduled for the week just yet. You never know what's going to happen. Could be a surprise Could be a surprise broadcast. We don't know. But we will definitely be back next week right here on MaxspeedTV with the Checker Flag Motorsports Speedway Monkeys presented by Buttkicker, where we will be, I believe, at, well, let's see. We will be at Talladega in the Gen 4s on 4/13. And then we'll have a weekend off on 4/20. 4/20 will be off that week for Easter. And then we'll be back in the Xfinities at Dega once again. So until next week, folks, I hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope everybody stays safe. And until next week, guys, we will see you very soon.